Today is the first of our series on how to refresh an old home with small changes that have maximum impact. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Christine. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, we do videos every week on tips, tricks, and hacks for your home, life, and adventure. We'd love for you to join the family. If you haven't, click that subscribe button down below and stick around for more great videos. Today, we're excited to introduce our brand new series on how to update an old home using small changes for maximum impact. And we're actually starting it right here in our front foyer. Oftentimes when you buy an older home, there's lots of renovations that people get excited to do, especially if the home's a little bit outdated. We purchased this home about a year and a half ago from the original owners. And while they had done some minor renovations here and there, overall, the aesthetic of the home was not at all our aesthetic. And so we've been slowly doing changes here and there. Now, if you've been following along, you've seen we've done some pretty big gut jobs like the powder room and the laundry room. If you haven't seen those videos, I'll link them up here. But budgets are tight sometimes, and we don't have endless amounts of money to gut everything that we want to. Likewise, we know that many of our viewers and our readers also don't have endless budgets. And so we thought we would take on this mini series to show you how you can do small changes, affordable changes that will have maximum impact on your home. We're gonna be talking about 3 different ways to update your front foyer over the next 3 weeks. We're gonna start today with doors, then we're gonna move on to hardware, and then we're gonna finish it off with paint. Today I'm so excited to introduce one of our fabulous partners, Matree. We've worked with them before in our laundry room, and we absolutely love their products. They do all kinds of millwork and doors. We've done shiplap with them, and we also did a door for our laundry room. We fell in love with the fashion-forward doors, and we've decided that rather than using pre-hung doors like we did in the laundry room, which was a bit of a big job, we were just gonna use a slab of doors. So that means you can keep your door frame intact, you just replace the door. And so we're doing that with all the fashion-forward Matree doors, and I can't wait to show you what it looks like. First, we're gonna show you what it looked like with the original builder grade doors. Then Chris is gonna come in and show you the process of how we cut out the holes for the hardware and hung the door. And then finally, we'll show you the big reveal. So let's go.
All right, so we are now out in the garage. This is my work area for this project. It gets a little bit dirty and I want to keep that mess outside. I recommend that if you're going to do this, do it somewhere like the basement, the backyard, the garage, somewhere where you're not going to make a mess in your house. We decided to buy what are called slab doors. And a slab door is simply that. It's just a slab. There's no holes for doorknobs. There are no holes where your hinges go. There's no hole for your latch, nothing. It is just a door, and that is it. You need to drill out the holes, you need to cut spaces for the hinges and all of that. So that's what we've chosen to do, because I wasn't prepared to redo all the trim around the doors as well. I wanted to do this as simply, quickly, and efficiently as possible. So I'm gonna show you how to do a slab door. I wanna go over a few of the tools that I've got for that. Now here I've got a few tools specifically for cutting in the holes for your doorknob, the holes for your hinges, and the holes for your latch. You're gonna need some type of small handheld router. I believe this one was $130 Canadian. You're gonna need at least one drill. It can be cordless like this one, it can be corded like this one. It doesn't matter, but you need at least one drill. I like to have clamps so I can hold my material down onto the table I'm working on. You're also gonna need a hammer, a square for measuring and marking, a tape measure, and you're gonna need a pencil. Well, now that I've gone through all the tools, I guess the only thing left to do is actually get this done. So let's get to it. All right, as you can see, I have two doors here. I have the old door on top. I have the new door underneath. Now, I have a confession to make. I've already hung this door. I've actually done all of the doors, and I'm coming back now to show you the process that I went through. Because I'm not going with a pre-hung door, these new slabs are going to go into an already existing door frame. So I want the hinges on the new slabs to be in the exact same place on the door as the hinges on the old slab. And so how I'm gonna do that is I'm gonna line these doors up together perfectly. I'm going to clamp them together, and then I'm gonna mark in the spots so my new hinge holes and knob holes are in exactly the same location as the old door. So I'm gonna let you see how I do that right now. Once I've got all of the edges of the doors aligned together, I clamp them down so nothing would move, and then I used my square and a pencil just to mark out on the new door the location of the hinges on the other door. So I would just go along like this and mark the spot. After I marked out the location of all the hinges, I also marked out the location of the large hole for the doorknob, as well as the location for the latch hole and the latch plate. Once I had everything marked out, then I took the old door off and I began to go to work cutting the various holes that I need. Once I had everything marked out, the first cut I made was for my hinges. Now you can see the pencil marks right there. That was just showing me where the hinge was on the older door. To get this hinge recess cut out, I used this jig that I showed you at the beginning of the video, and I just lined it up to the markings and tightened it down. This jig is completely adjustable, so if I wanted to do 4-inch square hinges, I would just make a few adjustments to that, but I'm using 3-inch hinges with rounded corners, and you can see that's how the jig is set up right now. And once I got that in place, it only took me about 10 seconds to cut in with my router. This was just a perfect guide. This door has 2 hinges on it, so I did one there, one at the other end. Once I had that cut in, I moved on to my my hole for the doorknob and for the latch, and I'll show you what I did over there. Once I was done with the hinges, it was time to move on to the holes I needed to drill for the doorknob and for the latch and the latch plate here. It was really simple to do that. I used this jig that I showed you at the beginning of the video. I had marked out exactly where the doorknob and latch plate and latch need to go, and so I simply aligned this jig with those marks. Right here, I could just screw that into place so I didn't have to hold on to it, and I use it as a guide, and it comes with this special bit for boring out a large hole, and I just use it as a guide so that the hole for the doorknob and the hole for the latch were perfectly aligned. Usually that's the trickiest part, is aligning those two holes, but this jig allows you to do that without much difficulty at all. After that was done, you have to cut out a little bit of a recess there for your latch plate. This plate sits on right there, and it needs to be flush with the door itself. And this tool right here that I got helps you to do that. You simply place the knob in there, right there, into the hole that you bore out for your latch. Put it in place and you hit it with a hammer, and there's sort of a knife edge right here, and what it does is it cuts the door exactly where your latch plate needs to sit, and then this little knife here allows you to actually scrape out the material that you need to remove in order to get your latch plate to sit in there properly. Once the door was prepared with all of the cuts that needed to happen, I made sure that the hinges were on the doors themselves, and I hung the doors in the frame. After the doors were in place, that is when I installed all the door handles. I'm gonna get this last door hung and in place, and I'll show you what it looks like with all of these new doors, and you'll be able to see a before and an after. It's gonna be a dramatic change just by swapping out a few doors. Let's go check it out.
Well, there you have it, friends. Our brand new Matri fashion forward doors. We are so in love with them. They're so solid, and everybody that has come into our home since we've had them up has totally noticed and been just wowed by the huge impact that we did with just a small change. Thanks for watching. Make sure to come back next week for part 2 of this series when we talk about updating the hardware. We're so excited for that. Let us know in the comments down below if you ever changed your interior doors and if you noticed what kind of impact it had in your home. Thanks again for watching. We will see you next time. Bye.